Are you ready for the first frost? That magical, yet sometimes daunting moment when the air turns crisp and a silvery sheen settles over the garden. For many gardeners, this is a time of anticipation and a little bit of worry. The first frost signals that winter is truly on its way, and with it comes a whole new set of challenges and opportunities for your garden. But don't worry, preparing for winter's first embrace doesn't have to be overwhelming. In fact, with a little planning and some last-minute effort, you can ensure your garden not only survives but thrives through the cold months ahead. Here are the last-minute garden tasks you can't afford to miss. These are the essential steps that will help you protect your plants, preserve your hard work, and set the stage for a vibrant spring. Whether you're a seasoned gardener or just starting out, these tips will make a real difference. The first frost marks the end of one season and the beginning of another. It's a natural transition, a reminder that the garden is always changing. As the colors of autumn fade and the landscape transforms, it's time to shift our focus from growth to protection and preparation. With foresight and timely action, we can protect the plants we've nurtured all summer. Covering tender plants, adding a layer of mulch, and shielding roots from the cold are just a few ways to give your garden the best chance to weather the winter. These small acts of care can mean the difference between a garden that struggles and one that bursts back to life in spring. Over the next few minutes, I'll share simple, practical steps that will make all the difference. From protecting delicate perennials to storing your tools properly, each action you take now will pay off when the snow melts and the growing season returns. Think of this as an investment in your garden's future. We'll discuss what to bring inside, what to harvest, and how to prepare your garden for winter. You'll learn how to save your most vulnerable plants, make the most of your final harvest, and tidy up your beds so they're ready for a fresh start next year. We'll also touch on how to care for your soil and keep your tools in top shape. Let's get our hands dirty, shall we? Together, we'll make sure your garden is ready to face winter's first embrace with confidence and care. So grab your gloves, gather your tools, and let's begin this essential journey to protect and prepare your garden for the colder days ahead. As the colder months approach, one of the most important tasks for any gardener is to provide a safe haven for tender plants, those beautiful but delicate varieties like pelargoniums, fuchsias, and citrus trees. These plants bring vibrant color and lush greenery to our gardens throughout the warmer seasons. But as temperatures begin to drop, they become vulnerable to the harsh effects of frost and freezing weather. Without proper care, a single cold night can cause irreparable damage to their tender stems and leaves. To protect them, it's essential to bring these plants indoors before the first frost arrives. This simple step can make all the difference in ensuring their survival through winter. Whether you have a conservatory, a bright porch, or even just a sunny windowsill, moving your tender plants inside gives them the shelter they need to thrive until spring returns. Before you bring them in, take a few moments to carefully inspect each plant for pests, such as aphids, whitefly, or spider mites. These tiny invaders can quickly multiply indoors, so it's wise to treat any infestations with horticultural soap or another gentle remedy. Pay special attention to the undersides of leaves and the joints where pests like to hide. Next, trim back any straggly or leggy growth. Pruning not only helps keep your plants compact and manageable for indoor spaces, but it also reduces stress on the plant by allowing it to focus its energy on healthy, strong stems and leaves. Remove any dead or damaged foliage to prevent disease and encourage new growth when the weather warms up. Once your plants are clean and pruned, choose a cool, frost-free spot with plenty of natural light for storage. A bright conservatory, a well-lit hallway, or a spare room with large windows can all make excellent winter homes for your tender plants. Good air circulation is also important, so avoid overcrowding and make sure each plant has enough space. During the winter months, your plants will need much less water than they do in summer. Water sparingly, just enough to keep the soil from drying out completely. Overwatering is a common mistake and can lead to root rot, so always check the soil moisture before adding more water. It's better to err on the side of caution and keep the soil just barely moist. Make it a habit to check on your indoor plants every week. Remove any yellowing or fallen leaves to keep them healthy and tidy, and watch for signs of pests or disease. With a little attention and care, your tender plants will stay strong and be ready to burst back into life when spring finally arrives. As the days grow shorter and the air turns crisp, it's time to gather the last of the year's bounty before frost hits. This final harvest is a precious one, marking the culmination of months of hard work and care in the garden. Each vegetable and herb collected now will provide sustenance and flavor through the colder months ahead. Focus on harvesting non-frost hardy vegetables and herbs like courgettes, French beans, and basil. These tender plants won't survive the first frost, so it's crucial to gather them while they're still vibrant and fresh. Courgettes, with their delicate skin, and French beans, with their crisp texture, are best enjoyed when picked at their peak. Basil, with its aromatic leaves, can be used fresh or preserved for later use. Don't forget to pick your tomatoes, even the green ones. These can be ripened indoors on a sunny windowsill, allowing you to enjoy their sweet, tangy flavor long after the garden has gone to sleep. Green tomatoes can also be used in a variety of recipes, adding a unique taste to your culinary creations. Harvest squashes and pumpkins before a hard freeze sets in. Be sure to leave a stem handle attached to each one, as this helps in their storage and longevity. These hardy vegetables can be cured in the sun for a few days to toughen their skin, making them last longer in storage. Pumpkins and squashes are versatile and can be used in soups, pies, and roasted dishes throughout the winter. Tender herbs like basil should be harvested completely before the frost. Basil is particularly sensitive to cold and will quickly turn black and lose its flavor if left out. Gather all the leaves and use them fresh in your favorite dishes, or preserve them for later use. One effective way to preserve herbs like basil is to freeze them in ice cube trays. Simply chop the herbs and place them in the trays, then cover with water or olive oil and freeze. These herb cubes can be popped out and used in soups, stews, and sauces throughout the winter, providing a burst of fresh flavor. Root vegetables like carrots and parsnips can actually sweeten with a light frost, but they should be lifted if a deep freeze is forecast. These hardy vegetables can be stored in a box of sand in a cool, dark place, where they will keep for several months. Enjoy their sweet, earthy flavors in a variety of dishes, from roasted vegetables to hearty stews. Let's focus on hardy perennials that remain outside. Mulching is key to protecting these plants, acting as an insulator. It prevents the freeze-thaw cycle that can damage roots. Use well-rotted compost, leaf mold, or bark chippings as mulch. Apply a layer 2 to 3 inches deep, avoiding the plant's crown. Mulch not only protects from cold, but also enriches the soil as it breaks down. It suppresses weeds, giving perennials a strong start in spring. Don't overlook the garden hose, a common casualty of frost. Disconnect the hose and remove attachments to prevent ice damage. Drain all water by stretching it out and using gravity. Coil it neatly for storage in a dry, protected place. Turn off the outdoor tap's isolation valve and drain remaining water. These simple steps prevent costly damage and ensure a ready-to-use hose in spring. Young trees and shrubs need extra protection in winter. Prevent frost cracking by wrapping trunks with tree guards or burlap. Tie branches of young shrubs to prevent snow damage. Protect against wildlife by using wire mesh around trunks. For precious shrubs, create a shelter with stakes and horticultural fleece. These efforts ensure young plants survive and thrive next year. As leaves fall, a good cleanup is essential for garden health. Rake leaves off the lawn to prevent fungal diseases and suffocation. Clear paths to avoid slippery hazards. Remove leaves from borders to prevent pests and diseases. Use collected leaves to make leaf mold, a valuable soil conditioner. This task not only tidies the garden but also enriches it for future growth. Some crops can continue growing with protection. Use row covers or simple blankets to shield plants from frost and wind. Create a microclimate to reduce stress and extend the harvest season. Protect crops from wildlife with netting or fleece. Covering beds ensures you enjoy your winter harvests, not the wildlife. Empty and clean containers to prevent overwintering pests. Discard old compost and clean pots thoroughly. Use hot, soapy water for plastic pots and a disinfectant for terracotta. Store pots dry to prevent cracking. This ensures a healthy start for container gardening next spring. Prune dead, diseased, or damaged wood before winter. Make clean cuts to prevent infection and encourage healthy growth. Avoid pruning spring-flowering shrubs or tender plants. This tidy up promotes plant health and prepares them for spring. Set up bird feeders to support wildlife in winter. Clean feeders thoroughly to prevent disease. Offer a variety of seeds and sweet to attract different birds. Place feeders near cover for safety but away from predators. Provide fresh water daily. Consistent feeding supports birds and brings joy to the winter garden. The garden is ready for its winter rest. We've protected plants and prepared for the cold months. Beneath the surface, life waits for spring's return. Share your own winter garden tips in the comments. Thank you for joining me, and happy gardening.